back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. It is such a gift and I am honoring you so much, sending you so much love. If you're new here, my name is Hitomi, but otherwise, welcome back. Today I'm going to be answering your questions about sex. I'm not a guru, I'm not trying to be your mom here. I'm going to try not to sound like a mom or a parent talking about sex. But I get a lot of questions about this. I made a video a few months ago about how I went celibate, about my struggles with men, and also just sharing my own sexuality. I'm very open about my lifestyle, everything like that, so I figured this would be a good thing to make a video about. And I got so many questions. I'm so excited to answer them. These are all from Instagram, and I'm just going to get right into it. This might be a part 1 to 2 videos. First question. I'm 17, never had a boyfriend because I'm scared to death about sex. I'm so afraid. Any tips or what makes you feel confident or comfortable? Good question. First of all, the first thing that I'm seeing that I feel is not right is that you don't have a boyfriend because there's this pressure to have sex, when you should enter a relationship and go on that journey with that person. There shouldn't be an obligation to have sex unless you're ready and comfortable, and you need to accept that and be with someone else who accepts that as well. And I know there are a lot of you who have struggled with similar things as me, who don't always feel comfortable around men, who can't always assert their boundaries, which is something that I struggled with for such a long time, being able to say, hey, I don't want to do this with you. And the only thing that has really helped me is to keep putting myself out there and working on speaking and being honest about how I'm feeling. And like I said, I went celibate a few months ago, and I was able to really voice that, and I needed to go celibate so that I could really establish the boundary of I'm not having sex. If you want to have a relationship with me and get to know me anyways, that's exactly what I want to do. If not, like, you know, it was really easy to clear out the bad ones. And I don't think that you should restrict yourself from exploring romantic love or meeting someone just because of this big, scary sex thing. That is a journey that you can go on with someone that you trust and are really comfortable with. So I'm just gonna leave that at that. I'm probably gonna go deeper into stuff like that in the future. My girlfriend was wondering how her best way to orgasm is. We have recently started having sex, and although I always orgasm, I feel bad I can't always make her orgasm. Do you have any tips to help us out? Well, I think that the girl, or whoever is trying to climax or whatever, just has to get to know their body a little bit better. I feel like if you masturbate and you get to know what you like, then you can share that with your partner and they can help you out. And yeah, it's just about knowing your body and knowing what you like, and then sharing that with another person and kind of guiding them through and exploring your bodies together. And it's a journey. I keep saying that. It is a journey with someone else. And someone asked me, what do you believe sex is? I believe it can be very intimate. Sex does not always equal intimacy, but I think that if you're with someone you're very comfortable around, who you're really on the same frequency with, it can be so enlightening and so connecting, and it can be very, very spiritual. I'm learning more about tantric sex. I just ordered a book on Amazon on it, so maybe I'll update you guys on my thoughts on that, which is tantric sex is basically channeling sexual energy and making it transcendental. I don't know that much about it, but I know it is about channeling and harnessing the energy and going into sex not having the expectation to orgasm. You're going into sex and just enjoying every single moment of it and not having this goal to it, because then you're constantly thinking, oh, how am I going to come? How am I going to do this? Like, oh, when is it going to happen? Blah, blah, blah. Instead, you're just fully focused on the moment. There's no goal. You're just having sex to enjoy every moment of it. Channeling your sexual energy, and you can move it up and move it out and channel it into your partner and all this kind of stuff. So I'm still reading that book, and I'll make a video on that later. Yeah, I do think sex can be very spiritual. I do think it's kind of sacred and should be honored. And yeah, what was the question? Oh yeah, so if you want to help her orgasm, she kind of has to know how to do that on her own and know her own body. Also, foreplay is a thing. I think foreplay and spiritual closeness, feeling comfortable with someone, really makes a difference. I cannot tell you how much of a difference. I mean, I will tell you. When I feel comfortable with someone, like, I'm instantly turned on, I'm so much more in the moment, I'm so much more sensitive to their touch, and it really is about feeling loved and accepted and not having to worry about any self-conscious thoughts, just sharing this really intimate, beautiful, energetic connection and sexual energy with someone who makes you feel comfortable and confident. And that really turns me on and turns everyone on to just feel good around someone else and to want to share your body with them. So definitely just have fun, you know? do the foreplay, don't rush anything, just make each other laugh, tickle, all that kind of good stuff. And I feel like that just kind of opens you up. You want to open the person up. A lot of people will bring their energy with them from throughout the day, meet in your bedroom, and just let all of that go, help each other release and open up and align together. What is your favorite type of music when you want to feel sexy? I don't know, I guess jazz music, but honestly, I can get down to anything. And by get down, I mean dance. I can get down and groove to anything, and when I'm like grooving with someone else, then that's instant connection. I feel the energy, we're kind of vibing back and forth. So I don't really have a specific thing, but I guess jazz, which is kind of basic, but jazz always makes me feel like, you know. Happened your first sex because of love? That's a very interestingly worded question. No, the person that I lost my virginity to, I did not love at all. Didn't really like him, and it wasn't that great, but hey, no regrets, it happened. Is sex as pleasurable as social media makes it seem? I don't know, I feel like I'm not on social media that much. I don't know what, I guess, society and social media makes it out to be. I guess movies always make it seem like some perfect, beautiful thing. They just show like, the after and like the beautiful bodies rubbing together, but it can be. It definitely can be. I mean, it feels really good to get laid. It feels really good to have a really amazing spiritual connection with someone and have sex with them. So yes and no, it really depends. I feel like a lot of people in my age range are having good sex, but it's not going anywhere past sex and past the physical pleasure. And I like to explore the more spiritual aspect of sex, so for me, I feel like TV and media does not display how great sex can be. I don't know, I'm really not on social media enough to really say, but I guess. I just know the people in my life are having good sex because my friends always tell me. I live in a closed-minded society, but I want to have sex. How do I go about this? This is really interesting. Like, wonder where you live, first of all. All these questions, I'm not going to say who wrote them. I think they should all be anonymous. But we make up society. People are always so anti-society, blah, 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 but we are the people in society who can dictate and change the flow of things, change the energy, change the stereotypes and the expectations. So, I don't know, don't worry about what anyone else is gonna think. If you want to have sex and you are with someone who wants to have sex and you're safe and you're happy with that person, then just do it. I guess don't have sex with someone who's gonna kiss and tell, because I went through some trouble with that. Literally, every guy that I hooked up with ever basically told my whole entire school, and I was slut-shamed, and guys would literally make up stories about me. Guys who I hadn't even spoken to would say that we hooked up, like in a closet or in a movie theater. This one time I kissed a boy, 7 minutes in heaven, so basic, in 7th grade. I told my friend, I played 7 minutes in heaven, we kissed. The next day I go to school and she told everyone that I got pregnant in a closet with him, and the whole school, I walked into my cafeteria lunchroom, like I shit you not, everyone was looking at me, everyone was looking at my stomach, they were like, wow, I can't even tell that you're pregnant right now. And I was in 7th grade, and I've just always had so much slut-shaming and drama around my body and having sex that you just can't give a shit. Like, if you want to do it, do it. Just do it with someone that you trust and who's not an asshole. I personally was really bad at gauging that in the beginning. Overall, best thing to know in life is just to not worry about what anyone else is doing. If you feel ready, then do it. And that's another thing I want to say is that, like, there's no right time. It's never too late to have sex. You're never too old to lose it. I mean, you can be too young. I was 13 when I lost my virginity, but the societal norms are different everywhere, and I just feel like you have to go with what feels right for you. I got a lot of questions from people saying, oh, I'm this age, I'm this age, I'm this age. Is it too late for me to have sex? I feel like such a loser. When in reality, like, in some places it's like, you can't have sex until you get married. Like, how dare you even think about having sex at 16, you know? It's just all about you and your journey and what feels right for you. How to know when the feeling is love and not lust during sex. Well, I've recently been feeling that. I've been really feeling love. I met someone new. I'm not really going to talk about that too much. You feel it in your heart, man. You definitely feel it in your heart, and it's more than just your sex organs activated. It's like this whole thing. If you love someone, then you can really talk to them and ask them how they're doing and ask them how they're feeling. But you should feel in love with that person and enamored by them and super into them even after you have sex or without these sexual thoughts, and just like hanging out with them as a person, I guess. I feel like that's a really personal, like, kind of thing that you have to figure out. If I'm into more kinky things and my partner is a lot more square than how can I bring this subject up? You just gotta go for it, man. You just gotta tell them your fantasies. Ask him what his fantasy is, or her, or they. Be like, yo, what do you fantasize about? That was really not sexy, but just ask them, like, what they're into, and if they say, oh, I'm just pretty, you know, into the normal stuff, just say, oh, what do you think about this? And send them like a picture. Maybe that's too much, but this is how I would approach things. Like, I would just send them like a link to something I'm into and just be like, I kind of think about this sometimes, because some people are probably just too uncomfortable or nervous to share their weird kinks with the other person for fear of, you know, feeling weird, you know, not completely comfortable with what they're into. But if you just take the initiative and like tell them up front, I'm kind of into this kind of turns me on, then they might feel more comfortable opening up too. How do you make sure when you're having sex that it's also on a spiritual level too, so that it doesn't mess up your energy or theirs? Well, I feel like you feel it and you have that connection and you have that dialogue going, where you're talking about how your energy is feeling. You just have to have that connection so that you guys can really feel where you're at. I'm really good at hiding my feelings. I've been hooking up with dudes who this was like way back in the day, that I would be hooking up with a guy and he'd think that I was so into it when really I was like crying and like just wanted to go home, but felt obligated to hook up with him, which I know sounds so shitty, but that would happen, and I wasn't communicating that, and I just felt so empty and so unfulfilled. To make sure that you guys are both on this spiritual level and so that you're both on the same frequency and not hurting each other energetically is really just talking about that, sharing exactly what you're going through in the moment. Sex can be a meditation if you just breathe through it and take things slow, and like I said, have sex without just the goal of orgasming, just having sex to explore each other's bodies and to just enjoy every second of how everything feels, every tingle, every finger brush on your skin. Just really experience that and breathe, and there's no rush, truly. So I would say be kind of mindful of your energy during sex, about how you're feeling, how they're feeling. Is it okay that I'm 19 and a virgin? I've gotten so many DMs like this. It's totally okay. There's no rush, man. There really isn't. I was so embarrassed that I was freaking 13 and not a virgin. Like, I always wanted to wait till marriage, believe it or not. Like, I just always wanted to do that. I always thought it was so pure and beautiful, and I wanted to save myself for someone worthy. That didn't end up happening because I don't know, but it's completely okay. There's no rush. I would rather you wait and do it when you're ready and go on a journey with someone else who you care about than to just do it and say you're not a virgin. I think it's beautiful that you're a virgin. It is definitely okay. Alright, hunty? And it's okay if you're not too. Hey Hitomi, when you first started being sexually active, did you have difficulty reaching an orgasm during sex? Because I've been struggling with that and I don't know if it's just me. I know a lot of girls who struggle with this. Literally from social media, like girls in my school will talk about like on their Finstas, is it normal that I've never had an orgasm during sex? I didn't have an orgasm during sex until after like 4 partners. Like, it took me so long to reach climax with someone because I was afraid to tell them what I enjoyed, and that's really what prevented it. Like, it would feel really good, I liked everything, but it just wouldn't happen. And I started masturbating also at a very young age, so I did know what I liked and what felt good, and it was just hard for me to like feel comfortable doing that with the people I was hooking up with until my last boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend. He was the first one that I actually orgasmed with, and that was in junior year of high school. I feel like it's just about being comfortable and knowing your body, which I think I talked about before, like knowing what you like and what makes you orgasm alone, and it's just so much more fun when you can teach someone else to do that and guide them through your body. Guys also, I feel like, just have to last a little bit longer, play with more parts of your body rather than just penetrating you, taking things slow, opening you up, and shouldn't just be about like, alright, so I just spent about 2 hours going to pick up the charger for this camera because forgot to get it from my homie, so we're back. I feel like another lifetime just went by, but hey, for you it's been like 1 second. I'm gonna get right back into the questions. How do you comfortably ask your partner about their history without killing the mood? I think by this you mean like their sexual history. For me, I don't mind if it kills the mood. I'm just like, hey, when was the last time you got tested? It's just responsible to do that, and if it kills the mood, then like whatever, but mostly people are just like, oh, like 2 weeks ago, blah, 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 or like a month ago, but I've only hooked up with this many people since. I don't know. Definitely just ask. I'd rather know and kill the mood than not know and get an STI or STD or something like that. How do you know when you're ready? I think that you'll know, you'll feel comfortable, and it'll be completely coming from you. It won't be like, okay, this person really wants me to, should I do it, should I do it? No, it'll be like, I want to do this. Have you ever experienced a pregnancy scare? What did you do? I actually have not, so no pregnancy scares here. I mean, I've missed my period and been like, oh my god, am I pregnant? Even though I didn't even have sex and I was just bloated, like... Someone said seduction keys for guys trying to get with a girl. I would say don't have any expectations and let things flow naturally, and don't try and be all seductive. Just get to know her and make her feel comfortable and make her share herself with you, like spiritually, like her mind, her life, her journey. Just ask her about questions that are interesting and about her soul and about her spirit, and just actually get to know the person. And I think that makes the other person feel like attracted and wanted when you actually want to get to know them as a human, and then you can just compliment them. But what do you think about the concept of virginity? Yeah, I don't really think much about it. Don't think it's a big deal. I think it should be talked about more. I think that sex should be talked about more openly. Like, come on, so many of us are doing it. So many of us don't know how to do it. So many of us are just like unsure of it. Like, let's just start a conversation. It's okay. And that's my thoughts on virginity. Like, do you prefer sex from females or males? Do you masturbate? Okay, asking from a virgin perspective. I don't really prefer either or. To me, it's just all about the person. I feel like it's taken me a while to identify with what I am, if I need to put a label on it. I guess I would say I'm pansexual. I'm definitely attracted to personalities. Pansexual, bisexual, like, there's a fine line for me. And I don't really have a preference. Both good. Do you masturbate? Yes. I feel like it's healthy for me to do that in my life. How long does it usually take and how to prepare for it? Oh my god, these questions are so, like, interesting. To prepare for sex, I don't really do much. Let's just talk about shaving really quick. I used to have this pressure to shave all the time and be perfectly clean and primped when I was in high school, and I would always hear guys like talking shit about girls who didn't shave. I do it because I like to, but I don't feel pressure to, and I don't feel disgusting when I have hair down there, and I just keep it fresh, and I don't really prepare for sex. I just, you know, I take showers, smell good. I usually like to lotionize. Well, I do that. This is just like my daily routine. Like, I put cocoa butter on after the shower, or just coconut oil, and that is my, yeah, preparation. But you don't have to go crazy with it, man. Like, just be yourself. If someone wants to have sex with you, they're just attracted to you already. You don't have to do anything crazy, and if you don't want to shave, then don't. And people can accept that. Like, I don't mind when others aren't shaved. Like, I just accept our bodies for how they naturally are. And it's so weird because, like, I feel like shaving is a pretty new concept. For a while, everyone was having sex with full bush, and now it's just such a taboo thing. And in porn, these girls are like, don't have a hair on their bodies, so it's kind of messed up. But do what makes you feel comfortable. I've definitely met guys who like love the hair, so I'm just being honest. Was your first time awkward? No, I do pretty good in awkward situations, and we were hooking up. I don't even want to talk about it. It just wasn't great. It's not even a story worth telling, truly. How do I tell my mom about being sexually active and need birth control without her getting upset? Conservative family. Don't know that stance, because my mom never really was involved in that way. And people who I knew who had parents like that would just go to Planned Parenthood or would just go behind their parents' backs. You might just have to bite the bullet. Just tell your mom, hey, I really want to be responsible about what I'm doing. I'm sexually active, and it really isn't a big deal. I don't know why parents like make their kids feel so bad and scared. Like, you shouldn't feel scared to ask your parents for protection or advice when you're sexually active, especially if you're like in those ripe teen, like senior year of high school, like that age range. It's just like, people are having sex, and instead of shaming your children and saying it's so wrong or making them feel so scared to talk about it, like, let them have that conversation and guide them, you know? Like, I feel like it's just gonna happen. And for me, so many girls I knew were having sex and just hiding it from their parents, and it just would have been so much healthier if they were, you know, having a conversation about it. But regardless, I think you should tell your mom. Go at it from a I'm trying to be a responsible adult standpoint now that I am having intercourse. I've gotten a few similar DMs like this. How can I feel more confident with my own sexuality and body in the bedroom? I want to charge more sexual/spiritual energy with my partner. I tend to feel awkward with my looks and certain acts. I feel as if I'm completely comfortable normally with my partner, by the way. How do I stop feeling awkward and owning it? I think that's something that you have to work on more with yourself without him. I would always stare in the mirror and just like try and fall in love with myself. I know that sounds kind of weird, but yeah, that's what I would do when I was going through this phase of not feeling comfortable with my body during sex. Like, I was smoking a lot and I would just get high and just look at myself in the mirror and just start appreciating myself, start appreciating my curves and my hips and my dips and all these kinds of things, the way my skin felt, and it really helped me. So I just think it's more of your own journey with self-love. Also, just make sure that the person that you're with is someone that you can trust and that does reinforce that. Like, don't rely on him to, you know, be confident, but he should definitely worship and honor your body just as much as you do. Don't feel awkward about your looks or the way that you act, girl. That's just you. Like, I don't even think there's such thing as awkward. Like, you're just an interesting, maybe a little bit different human being, and own it. Should you stay with someone who doesn't please you at all sexually, but you love everything else about them? Should you let sex be a deciding factor? Wow, this is a really good question. I would say keep trying. I would say keep making it work, because that spiritual connection is really important, and if you really connect with someone really on the same frequency, I personally cherish that. I think that maybe you should just teach them a little bit more. There are other ways to please people besides just intercourse, you know? Get some massage going. I don't want to like be too raunchy in this video, but like, just give each other head, you know? Teach him how to, or her or they, how to do that. And there are definitely ways to like teach someone how to please you, even if it's not just with penetration. You can also include toys and vibrators and things like that. Like, I think that you should definitely keep working on that part of the relationship. How do you get over the fact that you gave someone your virginity or just had sex with them in general and they leave you? It burns, it hurts, but you just gotta move on. I mean, that was pretty much like my first 4 partners, only based around sex and using my body. I guess for me it was really bad because I just got used to it. I was just like, okay, this is the way things are going. Like, I never had that sex talk, and I thought that, okay, this is like what happens. You just have sex and then the guy doesn't talk to you after that. But you really do have to let it go and just don't let that shit happen again. Protect your heart, protect your nectar, protect your feelings and your emotions, and your body is a temple, your body is very sacred, and next time just don't let these unworthy people in. People who are worthy are gonna stick around and talk to you and not be an asshole. Like, when you share something that beautiful with someone, I think that there should at least, even if it's just a hookup, you should at least be like courteous in some way and not just completely ghost someone after that, especially if like you were pretending to be all into it. Like, do you feel like the experiences from having sex with a guy differs from having sex with a girl? Do you experience that the energy is different in any way? Love you. Hope you have a great day. Thank you. I love you. Like I said, I don't feel like, I mean, obviously the way that we pleasure each other is different, but I used to think the experiences were different because I could connect with girls so much easier. I felt more comfortable, but no, I think that it's pretty similar. The energy is pretty similar. I mean, I'm always just me. I'm always myself, my expressing my spirit and like oozing out bits and pieces of what make me me, and I always do that with someone that I feel comfortable with, someone that I'm having sex with, and it's just, it doesn't matter, like guy or girl. I don't really see gender. The energy is a little bit different, but we all have that yin and yang energy. We all have male and female energy. I tend to be more attracted to more feminine males, just males who embrace their feminine side, not necessarily like dress or appearance, but just in their characteristics and what they do, you know, embracing their creativity. Men who dance, men who make art, like men who cook or clean or like kids. Like, I am more attracted to the more feminine male rather than the masculine, like big, tough, strong, like kind of aggressive, dominant male. Like even though we all have male and female energy, like I've always just been attracted to the more tender, emotional male. So I guess the energy, no, is pretty similar. I don't know if you ever talked about it, but I want to know what sex means to you. Is it important for you, and does gender matter for you? Have you ever had sex with a woman or a man? If yes, is there a gender that you prefer, or is it equal? I love that I'm getting this question so much, but I guess I just answered that. No, I don't really see gender. I don't value sex that much, but when I do have it, I do feel that it's sacred and very special, and I really enjoy it when I do. How do you know if someone is the right one? I don't know. I don't know if I'm biased because I've already had sex, or if I'm biased because I've felt love and I know what that feels like, and I know what it feels like to know. But I just think that you really do just know when you feel comfortable and ready to give yourself up to someone. And I think, yes, there will always be this like doubt, that the angel and the devil on your shoulder, like should I, shouldn't I? And the pros and cons will be circling around in your head. But I really do think that you'll know when you're ready to give yourself to someone, and there's no doubt that they're gonna like leave you after. There's no doubt that they're just taking advantage of you. How do you get over relationships where you felt as though your worth was based on how you could please them sexually? Let that shit go. Realize that there's so much more to you than just your body, and that you're a fucking awesome human being. Like, you have an awesome personality, and there's so much more of you to explore. I'm like doing this, like you're mine, girl. I'm trying to get to know you. Like, I think you just have to remember your power and your worth and really empower yourself, and literally fuck anyone who can't see past just this physical thing. Like, there's so much deeper of a connection to be had than just a sexual one. Realize that. That's what I had to do. I felt so empowered after. I was like, okay, these are all my sisters. Like, we're all going through these weird things together where people are questioning our worth. We have this power within us to nurture and are so in touch with our emotions, which is beautiful, and are so intelligent, and that is so exciting to embrace and to get to know someone on that level. And if anyone doesn't take the time to do that, like, they're really just missing out. You have to realize that and move on and just let go of that person who did not really see you. What do you do when you're insecure about everything about yourself to the point that you're terrified of even kissing? I'm so afraid of sexual interaction. That is, once again, like a self-love journey, and it is really scary. It is really scary. But the first thing that came into my head when I read that is to like kiss your friend, like girlfriend, guy friend. Feel that out. The only way to get past these scary feelings and boundaries, or like walls, the only way to break them down is to like move towards them and try to break through them, move them out of the way and get past them, and just put yourself in the situation that you're afraid of. And that's not to say like go and have sex, but just maybe try experimenting with someone that you feel really comfortable with. Just try kissing like your really close friend, someone that you love. I actually did that, and it was, yeah, it was good. It was really random. I was high, my friend was high, we were sitting on the couch, and I don't know who said it, but she was like, do you want to kiss? And I was like, yeah. And so we made out, and she was like, you're a good kisser. And I was like, you're a good kisser. And it was just like a little girly bonding moment, and it was really casual. Why does it feel bad mentally after sex? I think probably because you're doing it with someone who leaves you spiritually just unfulfilled. Did you grow up in a sex positive environment? I was not, because I was slut shamed by my sister. And the real reason was because I had no guidance when it came to sex and everything like that. And so when I did, it was with my sister's friends who were 2 years older, like in her friend group. So I totally understand. I was like the younger sister, and all of her guy friends were probably talking about it. And she was just like, ew, like, come on. And she would just get so angry at me. And then instead of like talking to me and guiding me through it, she was just kind of like, fuck you, you know? So not really sex positive. How did you get back into dating? I've been celibate for almost a year. I feel awkward trying to enter the dating scene or putting myself out there again. I didn't really start dating. I was meditating in a park, and then someone really cool approached me. It's just been literally incredible, and I really feel like I just attracted it. I don't like dating. The whole idea of this dating scene is just scary to me, especially in this modern world of Tinder and all these social media things, and guys just expecting sex when they wine and dine you one time. No. Go out with your girlfriends, meet their friends. It's always good to meet friends of friends because you know they're probably good people, and open your heart to love. This is what I did when I was at eForest, and I swear this is why I attracted this person in my life now who I just am having this great time with, and just like feels like a twin flame, feels like a soulmate, feels like we really knew each other at some point in our existence. I decided to open my heart to love. I was just like, okay, I feel all of this love all around me. I'm ready to let romantic love in. I'm ready to break that wall down. I've been keeping myself safe and protected and healing myself for so long. It's time to bust out of the cocoon, open up, and allow and accept love in. And that's what I did. I told that to myself, and that really translated, and I really felt it, and I think that's what you have to do. And maybe just write yourself a little letter about how your celibacy experience went, what you gained from it, and that you're allowing yourself to let romantic love in and accept the fact that it might be weird, it might be hard, it might be awkward, but this is something that you have to go through, and you can't just keep pushing male energy out and just completely repelling the idea of romantic love, because I feel like you do want that. You do want to get back into the dating scene, and you do want to find that kind of love with someone, and the only way to do it is to just go and try and struggle, and you've had this time to keep yourself safe and to not worry about it and to get your shit together and to focus on other things, but now is the time to just approach it, and approach it very calmly. And when you do go out and start dating again, be completely honest with whoever you're with. Be like, yeah, like I was celibate for a while because I want to find something special, and that's important to me. And just be really candid. There's no point in not saying that if that's what you feel, because just save yourself the time, you know? Yeah, don't feel awkward. It's totally okay. I was celibate for such a long time. Yeah, accept yourself, accept your journey, accept the time that has passed, that you've been keeping to yourself, and there's no shame in that. And just go for it. Just open your heart to that love. Sex with love is better than sex without love? Hell yeah, it is. Do you consider interracial sex more appealing than same-race sex? Interesting question. Shout out to you in Barcelona. You always comment on my things, and we almost hung out, but we didn't. No, I don't really have any thoughts on that. I don't know, I don't really like see the physical. I definitely am more of a like, oh, if I like you and I flow with you, then it's there. Like if that energy and chemistry is there, then it's there, but there's no preference right here. What do you think is better for preventing pregnancy, condoms or birth control? I mean, there's a chance that you can get pregnant on either one. Yeah, there's no foolproof method except for just not having sex. And I feel like a health teacher saying that, but it's true. I've been hearing a lot about this IUD thing that you put in here. The non-hormonal one is the one that I would get if I was going on birth control. That apparently is pretty good, but also still not foolproof. Birth control, personally, I took the pill and it just drove me crazy. It gained weight, was crying every single day. All of my friends who take birth control they get such intense side effects, and I'm just like, why would you take this? Like, my friend's hair was falling out, my other friend just couldn't get aroused, like, just so intense and just messing with the hormones. That's just, yeah, I don't take the birth control pill anymore because of that. Is it weird to be a virgin at 19? I haven't even kissed anyone or had a relationship yet. I feel like my family looks at me weird because it's just so crazy that that's your reality, that you feel almost shamed for not having sex. Meanwhile, I was shamed for having sex. No, girl, like, don't let your family or anyone make you feel inadequate because of that. Like, you have to do it when you're ready, and I keep stressing that, and fuck everyone else. Like, do not feel pressured to have sex, please. That is the last thing. That just doesn't feel good. Like, no, honey. It's beautiful that you're honoring yourself and just waiting, and that you just haven't yet. Like, that's okay. I'm telling you, that's okay. Do you always have orgasms while having sex? Is there something wrong with me if I can't? No, not at all. Sometimes, like, I'll just feel really good, but I just don't. And that's totally fine. It's okay to just enjoy it and to not have sex and come. It's okay to just, like, feel really good and just leave it at that and enjoy every second of it and not finish. How do you build intimacy with a partner? I'm currently celibate for the last 6 months because I needed time to heal from sexual trauma. Me. I think a lot of this stems from having sex with people who didn't care for me, combined with lack of understanding of intimacy on both parts. Yes. How do I not fall back into the same habits when I start having sex again? While building intimacy, it's like in the little things. Like, I definitely do not think that sex automatically equals intimacy. It's in the little glances over dinner, it's in your interactions. The most intimate thing to me, I think, is like lying in bed with someone, holding each other and just talking about your dreams and desires and just cradling each other. That to me is so intimate. Not before sex, not after sex. I don't know, I really am stressing this whole thing where like you don't have to like rush into sex. It's not just about getting an orgasm and like busting a nut. Like, just hang out with each other, just get to know each other, just touch each other, tickle each other, like get to know each other spiritually. And that is the part that I think really creates that intimate relationship, is when you share parts of yourself that are a little bit vulnerable and you let each other open up and feel accepted and okay and really build each other up. Anyone who's in your life, I feel like you should just want to bring them to their highest self. And definitely don't rush sex if you're not ready. You can really build intimacy in waiting too, and just like the little touches, the little like shoulder squeezes and massages and the neck rubs, like all that stuff is really beautiful and really sweet and gentle and intimate, in my opinion, without just having sex. And how to not fall in the same habits again is to speak your truth, is to say exactly what you're feeling. Don't even think about it. If someone's making you uncomfortable, if something feels like something from the past, just be like, yo, I'm not cool with this, I don't like this, like I don't like the way this feels right now, I'm gonna go. Reassess in the morning. Yeah. So if anything starts to feel like not okay, just voice that. Communication is so important, and you should feel comfortable doing that with the person that you're being sexually active with. How did you feel after your first time? Unfulfilled. I was just like, and I had been masturbating already, so I knew my body, I knew what it felt like to orgasm, and I didn't, like I said, until I met my ex. And so I was just kind of like, okay, like, not a big deal at all. How do you resist urges to have sex with people you don't deserve it, who you know don't deserve it? Totally understand this. I usually just get myself out of the situation if I'm like, okay, I feel like doing this, but I know I'll regret it. I just leave. Just don't even ponder it, don't even think about it. I'm just like, you're cute, but you're also an asshole, so I'm just gonna leave, and I just exit. I do honor sex and think that it's sacred and don't want to do it with someone random because I catch feelings and it's natural. I don't want to feel like it's bad that I'm catching feelings, go to all these stupid internet memes about it. No, I always accept my emotions, and I always get emotional and some kind of attachment towards someone that I'm sharing my love with. Is it okay to be scared about sex? Yeah, it's scary, it's unknown, it's like you're just naked in front of someone, like you can feel very exposed. It's okay, accept all these emotions that you're feeling, everyone. Just accept them, say hello, greet them. Try to work through them. Alrighty, so I answered quite a few questions. I'm going to get to editing this video. Thank you so much for watching. I might answer more in the future because I still have a few to open. Let me know your thoughts down below. I love you. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.
Come on. Sicker than your average. Pop a twist cabbage on instinct. Niggas don't